Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 430th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be your host once again in this continuous weekly series of workshops. And once again, I'm joined with Mark as co-host. Thank you, Mark, for being here. And of course, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's program. And let me get today's program shared here and we can begin.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you to everyone. And of course, we thank you for your time, help, and service to the community in this new One City Planet, or the Plasma City that we're all building. And of course, today we're going to just add another brick or a few bricks in the wall. And of course, you can help build that city. But the city is just like any other development. It looks like Mr. Keshe is bringing the energy of the city, but not the physicality of the city. As he said recently, how he brought a certain thing in the energy dimension rather than the matter state. But this development, like any large development, this is not a city. This is a one city planet that's being developed. And of course, he's in a way, the team is asking us to walk around this new city and see what we see. You can fly around the new city in this game we call Peace and Enlightenment. You can transmute around the new city, and we're looking for cracks in the walls or cracks in the sidewalk, perhaps. And you don't have to report that, but just by playing the game, this will become picked up by the team in the background and see what needed to be repaired. You don't have to contact the Department of Public Works, or maybe there's a tree laying in the street. I'm just using these as examples, or wires down. And this is part of the perfecting and building and expanding the new city. Maybe someone left a fire hydrant open. We know the game isn't by just playing the game without actually physically reporting. These things will get picked up in the background and then will be addressed as I understand it. So this is the new Plasma City. And again, this is just my understanding of it. And of course, the new city will probably be completed in 24, 36 months or so. And of course, we'd like you to have some cash in your pocket as you play in this sort of new city that you don't have to move a continent for. You can just operate out of your home. And so you'll have sort of a job, but it won't be a physical job that takes a lot of work and a lot of energy. You'll have sort of a work in the plasma dimension that doesn't take a lot of work and a lot of energy. And this, over the next couple of years, as the city is being developed, I think you will accumulate some cash in the pocket. So again, we can't send you to the new Plasma City without a bit of cash in your pocket to enjoy the experience. And I knew I was going to talk about this Plasma City and welcome you all to the experience of it and the development of it. And I was thinking last night, maybe Rick could bring up the game or something like this. And this is the new Plasma City. And look what the AI has created. Didn't speak to Rick, just made the wish that we'd have something that we could bring up to sort of show the new city, and the AI created exactly, in a way, what I think Rick's been reading my mind lately, but this is what came up for the background. So again, it seems like there's a synchronicity in the city, and the city is going to be, again, there'll be no crime, there'll be no abuse, there'll be limited wellness, there'll be an energy dimension to it, and it can all be channeled back into your location where you are. And of course, a lot of doubts and things that this isn't going to get done, and there's a lot of people, but we need to move away from this fear-based thinking. And many of us are paralyzed by fear in certain ways, but I'm not saying not to be cautious, of course. But let's move away from things can't be done, or I'm afraid of this or that, to things can be done. And we're the ones to bring it, deliver it, and to gift it in a way to the next generation. So again, we thank you for your time, your help, and your service to the community. Anyone want to add anything else? Please feel free. The microphones will come shortly as soon as we get the signal, or maybe we should put that in now as we're looking for more participation from everyone in the meeting. So shall we move on to the next slide unless someone has something else they'd like to share?
Yes, my dear Mike, I want to say that as one soul, one heart, Mark, me, and all that is welcome again. As we say always, dear beautiful souls, it's time to move. As Shriman Mehranji said, welcome, welcome, welcome from the core of my heart and soul, from the core of the Universal Council. Universal Council supports heart and soul. Welcome, welcome to the one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. Welcome to the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization, dear ones. Welcome, 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 Swagatam into the beautiful energy of all universal souls. We are in existence. Welcome to all that is love.
Wasn't that nice, Shweta? Wasn't
Yeah?
that nice, Shweta, what we heard? It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe.
The real
Thank you.
work of the universe. Oh, thank you, my dear. Salam. Namaste, Salim. Thank you.
Okay, for our next part, we have the World Peace Treaty, and that's open to discussion with whoever is inspired.
Welcome, everyone. Any beautiful souls want to say about World Peace Treaty? About peace? Oh,
it was so quiet. I guess that was the peace that we're after.
I thought the same. Yes, yes. There's a balance going on in here.
So we as citizens of the earth from this moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war, and we shall never think about getting involved or incite wars or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul, my dear beautiful souls. And of course, you can't buy peace. You know, in earlier times, I have, like, there's a monster outside, and you are paying them and go away. And after some time, the monster comes again, and the peace is gone. Kind of that. It doesn't come from outside. You have to understand it from inside. Your life, your living is a pages of history. Yours. You have to, you have to um, come within, from within, and shuffle all that, what is right, what should be done, who am I, kind of that. A peaceful person was, always was. And as we said, you alone, die alone, kind of that. No, we were never alone. If we were alone, we never came here. The universe has always guided us because we are one being of one soul of peace. It was always a body. We are a body, one body. Like in space, we are operating as one body in peace. Of course, it is the way you go now in this coming beauty and totality, my dear. So sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul pen, with your pen. Be peaceful. Understand. It doesn't work in the books. It doesn't work what anybody say, oh, I am a peaceful person, but I have brought the peace. No, like not like that. You have to understand according to changing your condition. Like We all have changed. When we came here, now we have changed so much. We are not the, if I say, I am not the Shweta anymore. I am an, I'm a new person, kind of that. So, and signing the World Peace Treaty was really, I will use the word fortunate and magic. I understood what should be done in a way, but still we are learning. But welcome to sign the peace treaty, dear beautiful soul. Be peaceful always. Be in this newness with peace. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salut.
And of course, everyone has a microphone right now. If you'd like to add anything, please feel free.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next part here, which is a short excerpt from the last 641st Knowledge Seekers Workshop of May 7th. And just let me get that prepared here. Okay, here we go. Just to let people know, this starts at about the 2-hour, 33-minute mark.
And it's the same I always say to the top management of the Keshe Foundation. You are just the guardians. Learn and bring younger one that when you are ready to go, you're there to support. We structure the same thing with the UC and UCM. Universal Council and member of Universal Council. When you become 60, you go step to the Universal Council members, but you still have the same say or putting input in. We will launch the UCM and Earth Council very soon. It's getting structured in the background. And restructuring the Universal Council and Earth Council, they'll be placed in Switzerland. And I'm working on it, that they become the owner and guardians of the Keshe Foundation International. Once I finish the setting up the Universal Council as a company and the Earth Council as a company in Switzerland, they become the thinking arms, but they will not become the acting part. We take the control out of the hand of the United Nations, the shares of what decision making. And the members of the council are to give the life support with thoughts and the guardianship, and the physical management is to carry it out. And then the carrying it out is what happens to like a space center and other things around the world. And then two companies, they will become two trusts. Keshe Foundation, Universal Council as a trust, and the Earth Council as a trust, will run as a trust the whole of the Keshe Foundation structure. We're not transfer everything into the hand of the Keshe Foundation. And they have no say who gets what. They carry their emotion, and we'll ask for new members of the Universal Council to volunteer to be part of it, because they decide the future of humanity. And the Earth Council decides how. Well, the Universal Council is the soul, and the Earth Council is the, what I call the spirit. The humanity is the structure to shape it. And it comes through the soul of you, and what it, the rest will accept as. No blind following, just because I say so. Accepting the energies of it. Like that, the story. Doesn't matter if it's in the plastic or the hard copy, the essence of the emotion.
Okay, that's our short excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. Okay, back to our presentation. Just bear with me a second. And there we go. And so the next part of our program, skip my
Must be the wishes. And of course, it's through the wishes that we're establishing the world peace. Even though our physicality said, no, you have to do something good. You have to protest. You have to write letters and make phone calls and so on and so forth. But we're working on the energy dimension and trying to create enough in the energy dimension that we see it manifested. And of course, it's much easier working in this dimension. And that's why we refer to the wishes. And of course, the reason we don't see any conflict is in space and so on is because they create everything out of their wishes. So they have everything that they need. And we're sort of following the same pattern here. In the beginning, I only thought wishes were for children, or maybe you make a wish on a birthday or New Year's or something like this. But now we know we can use this sort of creation process here on this planet and throughout the universe. So we're just getting used to it.
And I'll remind our audience we'll have a full minute of silence to respect each wish.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to create time for all mankind to reach the knowledge, to create the dimensions of the cosmic ray mirror, to manifest permanent peace at the physical level. We, the Universal Council, wish for the continued development and expansion of the new plasma city, hidden behind the game of peace and enlightenment, allowing the freedom of the physicality and soul of humanity. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the
We, the
Universal
Universal
Council.
Council. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Mashik, please.
Okay, we, the Universal Council, give from our soul for all hungry or homeless people in the earth and above.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one room. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our soul all the love, all this to all souls in existence.
Next, we have the soul connection. I've got Stefania and MOSFET, but that could change.
Okay,
And I
Stefania
also,
is not
okay,
Stefania is not here, so I will I'll say this. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love with you, and I adore you. So here we are, uh, affirming our love for the soul, not just our soul, but all soul in existence. And here we are practicing how to connect with other souls. First, with souls that are similar to us, and we make this part of our daily activity. 9 at 9 every 9 CET or CEST right now, every day, and as well as every 3 hours. Yes, we specify time, but at the level of soul, there is no time. But since we are much closer to physicality and we are more accustomed to it, we use the time as a stepping stone to that timeless world of soul. And it's not just timeless, but placeless or spaceless. The space and time really does not pertain to soul as such. And this soul connection operates at that level. But, we live in both worlds. Sometimes, we have to use our aspects of one side, the physical side of physicality, to influence or affect things in the energy side. And it's a wonderful opportunity. And engagement in it is a practice. And in the practice with feeling, the emotions that relate us to this connection. And with this emotion, we can change things at a pace at the physical level, which in most cases can be difficult for us to imagine. And when we talk about our wish as our command, this is not something that's bound by time. As the wish unfolds or manifests, so does the command. And it doesn't have any time boundary. So, in the same way, when we wish to connect with other souls, the story is the same. And so, this is something we practice with emotion. And this emotion makes the engagement of energy with the aspect of physicality that we are all familiar with. So this is all I want to say about soul connection. And since Stefania is not here, I will do the soul connection in Bengali, which is the language I represent in the Universal Council as a support member. So and we will do this for, we'll have, after I speak in Bengali, we'll have a break for a silence of 2 minutes, and I'll just announce the start and stop once I finish talking. So, আজকে আমি বাংলায় বলছি যে কিভাবে আমরা আত্মা সংযোগ তৈরি করতে পারি। এই সংযোগ আমরা প্রতিদিন নিয়মিতভাবে করি 9টার সময়, রাত 9টার সময় সিইটি অথবা সিইএসটি টাইম অনুযায়ী, এবং আমরা প্রতি 3 ঘন্টা ওটা করতে পারি অন্তর অন্তর। এবং যখন আমরা এইটা প্রতিনিয়ত করি তখন আমাদের ক্ষমতা, আমাদের আত্মার ক্ষমতাকে আমরা স্বীকৃতি দিচ্ছি, এবং এই স্বীকৃতির মাধ্যমে আত্মা প্রকাশ বস্তু জগতে ব্যাপারে প্রতিনিয়ত হতে পারে। কিন্তু আমরা আমাদের এই সম্বন্ধে আমাদের ধারণা কম, সেই জন্য আমাদের একটু করা দরকার, একটু বারবার করা দরকার, অভ্যাসের মতো। প্রথম দিকে অভ্যাস, পরে এটা আপনি হয়। এবং এখানে সময় অথবা জায়গার কোনো সীমানা আমাদের নাই, ফলে সময় ভিত্তিক না অথবা জায়গা ভিত্তিকও না, এবং আমরা সহজেই এটা করতে পারি। তো এটা করলে আমাদের আত্মার ক্ষমতার যে সদ্ব্যবহার, এটা অন্যান্য আত্মার সাথে সংযোগ করে। এবং সংযোগটা শুধু একদিক না, আমরা যেমন একদিক থেকে সংযোগ, আমাদের দিক থেকে সংযোগ করছি, অন্য যাদের সাথে আমরা সংযোগ করছি তাদের থেকেও আমাদের কাছে সংযোগ তৈরি হয়। এবং দুটার প্রকৃতি 2 রকম হতে পারে, আমরা ক্ষেত্র বিশেষে এটা অনুভব করতে পারি। তো অনেক কথা হলো, এখন এই কথা কথার আড়ালে যে অনুভূতি, সেটা আমরা অনুভব করি। আমরা এর জন্য 2 মিনিট নীরবে থাকি। So let's start that silent time. Okay, this concludes our silent period, and we can get back to our regular programming.
Yes, go ahead, Marinez.
Good afternoon. Mehran's Universal Council support for first line. So, as usual, we talk about what the Universal Council has decided that the Keshe and all universal family present on this earth to unify at the soul level every time, every day, and also at 9 p.m. CET or CEST for achieving the goals we have decided on. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in the direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Thank you. In adding this, I remember that this week I got a the satire comic caricatures of Iranians. If you have seen it on the YouTube, it's about war and peace. And they had done a beautiful video, and it was very much like what's written in here. And I remember that in the end, I wrote that it's time for one nation, one planet. So maybe I put it in the chat, the video. First, normally it's very funny. And then secondly, we see how much we are getting close to this notion of peace, that we are all one nation, one planet, one race. Because it was talking about we are all the same, we have the same pains, we have the same wishes for our lives. So why are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? And so, well, I'm happy that we live this day, and I'm happy about the future in this way if we reach the peace. And so I put the video on the chat, so it might be funny and at the same time the era of peace which is coming to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marinez. Next, we have the video on how to become a Universal Council member. Message from Mr. Keshe from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I'll share that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring in a new development of Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. To run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also want to add that welcome, beautiful souls, to join as a Universal Council support, Universal Council members, and you are so much welcome. As you have to understand that we are not separate. In this universal love, we can perform, we can serve as we came here to serve. So welcome again, my dear beautiful souls, to join the one body, the one soul of peace. Welcome. Thank you. And also, I invite you to be with a member of Universal Council to send us your question to be answered. Well, this is also in a needs of your community. This is the way I will say that as everything is coming to be in this plasma city. So, as universal, we are all universal beings. You are so much welcome as we are all learning. We are all learning, my dear beautiful souls. You can share your say, your experience, your love in all the Telegram groups of different languages of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Share what you want to share. We will share with you. We will understand each other more and more day by day to be in this peaceful way, peaceful path. So thank you. Join us, please, too, in the Telegram group. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salut.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. I believe the next part is an excerpt or a presentation, actually, regarding the Keshe financial system. It's from the Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this will be about 10 minutes. And it will explain some of the ins and outs of the new Keshe financial system.
Today, we're unpacking a truly radical concept proposed by the Keshe Foundation, a completely new, decentralized global financial architecture. And I mean, this isn't just some minor tweak to how banks operate today. According to the source material, it's a total reimagining of how humanity interacts with wealth, with survival, and honestly with each other.
To wrap our heads around this incredibly complex model, we're going to journey all the way from the micro level, like how an individual user operates, straight up to the macro philosophy of global peace. We'll be looking at 1. The Keshe coin concept. 2. Converting cash to Keshe. 3. Replacing traditional banking. 4. Integrating businesses and governments. 5. Ending exploitation. And lastly, 6. Funding peace and knowledge.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the Keshe coin concept. Right off the bat, we absolutely have to separate the two main parts of this proposed economy. So think of it like this. You've got cash coins, or CC, which individuals earn digitally by playing what the Foundation calls the Enlightenment game. But when you want to actually take that value and use it in the real world, you use Keshe coins, or KC. That is the official currency for global trade. And the sources are super clear on this point. This isn't some volatile cryptocurrency. It's designed to operate entirely within the Keshe Foundation's own structured system. Now, here's where the model gets, frankly, pretty wild. According to their design, one single Keshe coin is permanently locked to a fixed value of 1,000 euros. Period. It literally does not fluctuate. The Foundation claims this theoretical design just instantly wipes out inflation. So a tomato today costs the exact same as a tomato 20 years from now. It totally strips away the market speculation and volatility we're also used to living with. By getting rid of currency fluctuations, they're proposing a stabilized global currency that simply can't be manipulated by outside forces. The goal is to put a decentralized financial structure completely in the hands of everyday citizens, bringing absolute certainty to global markets. I mean, imagine actually knowing what your money will buy decades from now. For sure. So how does this actually play out for a normal person trying to spend what they've earned? That brings us to Section 2, converting cash to Keshe. Okay, when you move those earned cash coins over to spendable Keshe coins, there is a strictly defined 10% conversion tax. The user keeps 90%. But check out how deeply this integrates local governments. 8% goes straight to the central bank of wherever that user lives. Then the leftover 2% is split evenly between the Keshe Foundation's research and their administrative costs. Basically, this creates a massive, passive revenue stream for participating nations, and they don't even have to lift a finger. And let's put that into perspective for the individual. The sources outline that players of this Enlightenment game can earn a maximum of 2 full coins per month. Since one coin is locked at 1,000 euros, you're looking at a gross income of roughly 2,000 euros every single month, generated just by playing. After that 10% tax we just talked about, the user takes home 1,800 euros. The idea is that this effectively funds basic survival, allowing citizens, especially in developing nations, to comfortably feed and clothe their families. Zooming out a bit, let's look at the bigger picture in Section 3, replacing traditional banking structures. The Foundation is envisioning a completely different reality from what we have today. On one side, you have traditional banking, which the sources describe as inflationary, entirely debt-based, constantly fluctuating, and, lacking transparency. On the flip side, you have the proposed Keshe financial system, which boasts fixed values, decentralized control by citizens, and unavoidable total transparency. They claim this new architecture gets rid of national currency domination entirely and completely bypasses traditional financial networks like SWIFT. It's all aimed at creating a one nation, one planet economy. And because every single coin movement is tracked transparently on their network, the system claims it can literally eliminate bribery. Oh, and it supposedly stops the funding of the global arms trade by strictly blocking any transactions tied to weapons manufacturing.
But you might be wondering, how do real companies and countries actually plug into this alternative system? Well, let's look at Section 4, integrating businesses and governments.
For businesses, there's a very specific playbook. First, they have to officially register as a Keshe Foundation company. Second, they absolutely must accept Keshe coin as payment. And third, they have to operate exclusively within this transparent network. Doing it this way ensures all commercial transactions stay entirely inside this stabilized, inflation-free ecosystem. As for the governments, the incentive is purely structural. According to the sources, because governments passively receive that massive capital injection from the 8% conversion tax, they can then exchange that KC for public services. The foundation argues this completely eliminates the need for crippling international loans. It's a massive shift from the sovereign debt crises we see everywhere today, ensuring national leaders can provide for their people without heavy taxes or insane debt. Now we're getting to the absolute core of the system's long-term goal. Section 5. Ending exploitation in poverty. Get this. The foundation proposes giving a lifetime grant of 1,000 Keshe coins to citizens in developing nations and eventually to every newborn baby on Earth. Since each Keshe is locked at 1,000 euros, that is effectively a 1 million euro lifetime grant. The stated goal here? Literally eradicating global poverty. But actually scratch that. You can't just go spend 1 million euros on day one. That would crash the market, right? So, to ensure sustained wealth, there are strict mechanics. Citizens can only withdraw a maximum of 10 KC, so 10,000 euros per year. It basically acts as a guaranteed, lifelong pension spanning a century, giving people continuous support instead of a windfall they might just blow through. So, what happens when you combine these policies? We're talking guaranteed pensions from birth plus universal pricing. That means an apple costs the exact same 1 cent on the app whether you're sitting in New York or Central Africa. And because prices are identical globally, the foundation asserts that the desperate need to migrate across borders just to find basic survival wages vanishes. The economic exploitation of developing nations becomes mathematically impossible. And finally, we arrive at Section 6, Funding Peace and Knowledge, the ultimate philosophical apex of this whole model. The foundation actually has a specific timeline for rolling this out. March 2026 is the target for the game launch and locking in the currency value. Then, later in 2026, they plan to distribute ONN units to further decentralize their networks. By 2027 or 2028, they aim to enter major global stock markets, like Shanghai. The idea is to quietly scale this architecture up until it's just an unavoidable fixture of international trade. The foundational theory driving all of this is super profound, eradicating the survival mindset. The sources argue that if you eliminate the daily grind to just survive, humanity won't become stagnant or lazy. Actually, it will free us. It'll unlock this huge new excitement and energy to learn universal knowledge and ultimately knowledge of the Creator. There's a quote from the source material that hits the nail on the head regarding this behavioral shift. You don't work to live, you live to work to serve. When survival isn't a daily battle anymore, human ambition pivots. According to the text, our focus shifts toward universal service, scientific discovery, and a higher understanding of the universe. Ultimately, this entire economic model is presented as a structural blueprint for global peace. By stripping away the financial motivations for war, making bribery fully transparent, neutralizing inflation, and establishing absolute financial equality, the Keshe Foundation truly believes they are laying the groundwork for a world without conflict. It's a massive paradigm shift. So let's just leave it here with this thought. If humanity no longer had to fight for an income, and your survival was mathematically guaranteed from the day you were born, what knowledge would you choose to seek? What would you spend your life exploring? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.
All right, that was our AI-generated news about the Keshe financial system. Quite interesting. Now I've got knowledge and understanding about the Last Knowledge Seekers workshop. That's supposed to be with Stefania. So do we skip that, or would we like to have some discussion? Or do we move into transmutation time?
Yes, we can skip that, my dear Rick, because um, yeah.
Or
Okay.
maybe we can do the transmutation time, and then if Stefania comes in, we can go back to the knowledge and understanding.
Sure, good idea. Okay, I guess Mashfaq, you're up for transmutation time.
So today's transmutation time will be transmuted a bit because I think Shweta is going to start with something interesting. So let's do that, and then we step into a different way of doing this.
Thank you, my dear Mosh. Gratitude. Um, I I have a three lines of a song. In India, we say the bowl song. It is always a poetry kind of thing that the Sufis do. The messages of the Sufis in different ways of soul and the physical soul also. So, and the baul, those who sing the song are baul gitkar. I mean, the singers are baul mostly. So, I will sing a song recommended by Moshfik, and only three lines and 3 to 4 lines. And thank you for allowing me to do that. Thank you. একজনে ছবি আঁকে এক মনে ওরে আপন একজনে ছবি আঁকে এক মনে ওরে আপন আরেকজনে বসে বসে রং মাখে আরেকজনে বসে বসে রং মাখে তবু তোমার তবু তোমার তবু তোমার I'm sorry. তবু তোমার 1 minute. তবু তোমার ছবি হ্যাঁ তবু তোমার ছবিটাকে নষ্ট করে কঞ্জনা তবু তোমার ছবিটাকে নষ্ট করে কঞ্জনা তোমার মনে বসে আছে কয়জনা কয়জনা তোমার মনে বসে আছে কয়জনা একজনে ছবি আঁকে I apologize.
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
starting it again.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good. Don't worry. I mean, I think we are all right.
okay.
So this is the song is description of how our mind, operation of our mind. Part of our mind is, or top part of our inner state, rather, mind would be rather restrictive in stating it that way. In that condition, somebody is, in the songs opens with somebody is drawing something, and somebody else is putting on makeup and colors, and a beautiful picture is being created. But there is another part of our being that mess up the image that is being drawn. So this is how it opens, and then the main line of the songs come into play, which is which means that how many are there that lives within us. At one point we see one, at another point we see another one. So this is the main aspect of the song, how many are there within us. So last time Mr. Keshe talked about the soul and the soul of physicality being two, wife and the mistress story. So the physical soul, or soul of physicality, is the wife, and the mistress is the soul of man. And of course, there is the physicality aspect. But even between these two, there is a complex dynamics in the creation process of the soul of physicality. Once the physicality takes a certain degree of shape, then the soul arrives in the picture. In a sense, the soul of physicality invites the soul of man and then there is the affairs of the two souls that dictate the course of our life. The one, the mystery, the soul of man, is in the background, whereas the soul of physicality is one that is in the foreground, attached to the physical existence here on this planet. Now, the transmutation we are talking about here is not so much how many are there, or whether it's two or more, but how do we integrate it? How do we have a house where the mistress and the wife can coexist and get along well? So no matter how many wives or mistresses are there, it's the peace that we want to create. We have been talking about the peace, external peace, but the inner peace is where it all begins, where the seed is sown. So, and here is the interesting thing. Our soul of physicality, of course, in the physical interactions we have, the emotion. Now, there is a complementary side of emotion, which is kind of like the energy dimension of it. Call it the energy mirror of the physical emotion. It's not the same, but it's similar. That's the interaction between soul of physicality and the soul of man. Now, these two emotions are constantly there. The one that is with the physical, on the physical side, we have words for it: getting angry, getting happy, and all sorts of things. But these are the shadow. Actually, the mirror is the other way around. The shadow of what the emotion on the soul of man side and the soul of physicality's interaction, the one that results from. There are no names or words in our language for it, but we can all feel it. Call it inner feeling, intuition. We have many words for it. None of these words are particularly descriptive or useful, but it's a placeholder. But the feelings are a lot more powerful and recognizable and can be used to transmute. And this is where the magic comes. Recognition of this emotion, and the shadow of this emotion is on the physical side, so to speak. And if we kind of move it on the other side and recognize the existence of the soul, then this intention or intangible inner feeling all of a sudden becomes a reality that we can perceive, we can use, and we can benefit from it and benefit others. And this is where things change dramatically. We don't have to name these emotions. We can leave it at the intuition, inner feeling, whatever else we use for this kind of purpose. But the recognition of this emotion and bringing into operation these emotions or triggering these emotions can lead to transferring massive amount of energy to the physical side. And one of the things that we have heard in manifestation process is that we need place, position, and possession. And this is how you bring possession from the side of the energy to the side of the physical. The possession is not the energy we can transfer. Emotional energy we can transfer from one side to the other. And that's how the physical side is manifested. The power is enormous. The power of creation is enormous. Therefore, the access to it is gradual. With sufficient enlightenment, we slowly start to use it. There is no rush for it. But transfer is tangible and useful. We start small. We can, if we are to use the analogy of the game of peace and enlightenment, we need peace and we need enlightenment. Transfer this energy. And it's kind of like the level one. We started level one and slowly move up and see how we can do the transfer. It is the beginning of a story of how to use, how we started level one. But we have to play the game. We can't sit there and fiddle our thumbs. The game has to be played. For the peace and enlightenment, take it. Thank you very much. That would be all for today. Any question, any comments, any addition? Thank you.
My dear Moshfik, I I was not able to say the words properly of the song, and I apologize for that. But I will practice it more. Um, Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you.
I have a message from the community with Marinez. Marinez, are you there?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, we talked about that if there's any question, I can answer about my community. well, all I can say that these people have been had been suppressed in the communications in the world media by purpose, and nobody was supporting and defending them, and they were doing their things. They had more than 200 sanctions, and each time they were trying to do the peace, it finished with more sanctions. There was a design to finish these people because they were the only one in the region which were supporting Palestinians, and they were firm. And it's part of their ideology of Shiite who believe in Imam Hussein, the third Imam, that he was martyred because he couldn't accept the oppressed Khalifa who took the place of his grandfather. And Khalifa took him to a place there was nowhere, kind of desert. And they encircled them. They cut water and food. And at night, Imam Hussein said to the people who were following him, I know there is nothing but death in here. In the night, you just go away, and I don't expect you to stay here. In the morning, there were only 72 people, but they stayed there and still didn't accept to uh, give their accord to this Khalifa, which was very corrupt and a drunken man, and he was doing wrong things. So they stayed there, and one by one they were killed, and then Imam Hussein was killed. They cut his head. Very tragic. And then only the sister, and because he was with family, and his son, which was very ill, and some others with her, they were treating like slaves. And so this tragic end is remembered every year in Ashura by these Shiites who believe in this part of history. And it has been running through the centuries. At first, it was hidden, and then 400 years ago, Shiite becomes the religion of the country, so they were not hidden anymore. So this has continued. Even Shah was trying to forbid this kind of manifestation, and it was again being done. Um, Sometimes the grandmothers, they were asking a religious person to say these his stories, and the ladies were crying for him. They were feeling good, and that was just like this, continuing in the houses. These are stories, and then there was a revolution, and then in this revolution after that, they decided by a referendum, almost everybody, 98%, what they want. We want Islamic Republic for Iran. And it was done. And then a constitution that, because it's Islamic revolution, We want women to be covered, not covered totally, but be modest. Of course, these days, a lot of young people, or not young people, they don't put the cover because the society has changed and there is evolution. So that's how it had to be, that they cover their head partially, or anybody according to their way of life, and they have a cover on their clothes and they don't show their body. And that was, in my opinion, one of the reasons they could get social justice, because every woman in every villages even could go to university and not be ashamed because they don't have money to wear good clothes. And so we have a lot of women who have filled the universities, most of men. And there are women who come from villages. They go to universities, and when I was seeing them, it was looking like the people in Tehran, because apparently the people in Tehran couldn't do too much for their appearance. And I think it's one of the reasons we have so many educated women in Iran. And they do educate very, very uh, proud and happy and intelligent children, very serious, very, like children who look like the first in the class. Most of them. And I had somebody, I go, children are so prosperous. They look so proud and so happy and intelligent. And then I noticed that it's every class of their families, not just those who have uh, they use the psychological new ideas for raising children. And that's one of the things which is very good, that made this generation before and this generation very intelligent, very free to have ideas. I mean, that's how I see it, because I was not there all the time. And that's why people are very much surprised of how much they are knowledgeable and how much they are strong against difficulties. And then now they were twice in the middle of peace negotiations, and each time in the middle they aggressed them. So they had to they there was an attack first to their uh, commanders of chief. They did the first layer of commandments because they had found out where they have their reunion. And then the 12 or something nuclear scientifics, they were all killed. Sometimes for one person, the whole building and neighbors were destroyed. And then people rapidly made the new commandments and started, and then they continued. And then in Israel, there was not munitions, so they asked for ceasefires. And the Iranians thought, okay, that's it. And we live in peace, we continue. And then 6 months again, they were in negotiations. And then in the middle of the negotiation, when nobody expected, they were attacked again. And this time they thought they killed Ayatollah, the leader, religious leader, which is not the government, because everybody is having his own. He is just the line that when things are getting out of control by political uh, manipulations or economical manipulation, it's just the eye which sees the things, and he gave the old woman advice. And he had no political, uh, yeah, she just was giving advice, but it was not obliged to be accepted. So they killed him with his family in his house. And then after that, people came in the street because they just couldn't accept that they do that to them. And ever since, people are in the streets every night. Everybody, rich, poor, everybody got united. They are in the streets up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They chant, they pray. There are people who come and talk. It's a kind of a direct democratic situation. People put banners, and the person who comes to talk, he watches this banner, and this situation is talking about that, or giving this desire of people to the government or justice to handle. So it's just the ambience, the environment of peace and love and pride of a nation which could understand each other, which are in the same level as their leaders. And then there was the son of Khamenei was chosen. And so now they're trying to make their economy very difficult, that they give up. But they say we won't continue the war, and we don't want to negotiate, because negotiate, we always had bad memories. So this time the people are on the contrary of any other people who want peace and no war. They just don't want negotiation and just want to continue to revenge their own Ayatollah and their own children. And so very amazing. Even for the Iranians, they just think it's something not normal which is coming to them. This excitement, this one voice for all, and pride. So kind of direct connection to their directors, to their governing people. Uh, so they are in the streets for 70 days now. And so the people don't want negotiations because they're afraid that bad memories. So the Hormuz is closed. Americans said, we accept it. They came to Islamabad, and then there was telephone calls to Israel. Israel didn't want peace. So everything finished and they went home. And so that's all it is, as far as I know and how I see it. But I think it's a real good start for humanity, because Iranians also, even after the revolution, had this mission of helping all oppressed people in the world. Like the revolution was not just Iran, but helping any oppressed people in the world. For them, it's a world movement, just not just a country. That's why they had a lot of hardship. But what's amazing is how much they can accept the hardship, and instead of breaking, more. They become more strong, and now they are really united, and they are. They say it's love between us. It's power of pride, and we know we are on the right. They think they are on the right side of history because of this story of Imam Hussein, and and so they think And of course, they believe in Messiah also, and they think this flag that they're taking, they want to go for justice and to give the flag to Imam Mahdi, which comes for the peace and justice and things like that. So that's how it is at the moment. That's how I see it. There are Iranians who maybe don't have the same exact thing, but apparently it's how it is going on. Even I'm very astonished at how they couldn't break and they could come every night out. Uh, so so I just hope to see what happens. But I know they would come out as much as the Ayatollah tells them to come, because if they don't come out, there are people who are infiltrated coming. They have come inside from the frontiers and Mossad and things like that, and they might attack them. So they keep the streets. So that's how funny it is, but they have stayed in the street for 70 days already. That's what I can say about that.
Okay, thank you, Marinez. And I think that brings us to our needs and wishes. Is there anything I missed? There's a
I
note.
wanted to ask Mernaz, we know Mr. Keshe said that the Iranians are about 50 years ahead of the rest of the world in the understanding of nano coding, and we know that they have a space or a defense technology and so on. We've seen the UFOs around, I think, Isfahan and so on. And we know there was devastating sanctions, not only on Iran, but for sure on Iran with the medicine. And since they're so advanced in this technology, are they only keeping it in the defense of the nation, or could they have used this technology for feeding the people, or maybe they haven't gotten up to that point yet, providing wellness and so on? I know Mr. Keshe said he was puzzled by why they haven't shown some of this technology. Is it secret from the people? We know the Cup of Life One was widely distributed with great success in Iran and so on. But is the government or any sort of sparks of this technology appearing, let's say, in the retail or for the nationals living in Iran? Because of the sanctions, I was thinking they may do that.
First of all, there's a small city, I mean, very small city, which is dedicated to the modern technology. Everything like nano, things like that, different different subjects like that, very modern. Like I read the other day that they can create a stem cells, use it in hospitals actually, that they can put anything which is needed. For example, like you need some part of the skin, they can create it. So this is kind of new. There are a lot of small things like that in hospitals and health in some hospitals. In agriculture, they do some of the things in agriculture. It's not in the level of government yet, as far as I know. And this last government, I didn't like the person who is chosen very much, but people accept it, so we stay until the end of his line. But I think after the end of his time, of this actual one, I'm sure absolutely that the new one would be a lot more into these things because it's more connected to the real needs of people. And then whatever people want would be accepted by the future government. And even this one is obliged to accept it. So a lot of progress, for example, other countries come to Iran for hospital and things like that because they're advanced. One, they are accessible. Two, and third one, for years in Iran, everybody from baby to the end of their life take a universal salary. That's why we don't have that much homeless, even though there were sanctions. So, because if, for example, you're four plus the old people six, you have six salary. So it's enough to have the smallest needs of the family. And that's a good thing. For years, it's like that. And the people are very much charitable, part of their beliefs. They are very much charitable. So a lot of charity is done by people. And especially these days, because of the love of Messiah, Mahdi, they do a lot of free things, services freely. For example, I have a taxi today for the love of Mahdi. I offer taxi for all old people who cannot pay, or things like that. A lot of charity is done by people just for the idea of service. The idea of service is very alive compared to other places. You know, the service is becoming an honor. When you're lost in Tehran, everybody comes, where do you want to go? You know, or if you say somebody, I'm hungry, somebody else comes, okay, take that also, somebody else comes. So this idea of service is very much alive. Of course, hospitality, love of others. In Iran, they're very much open to all religions from all history. They have been like that. And they have even, Israel has bombarded a synagogue, one of the synagogues in Iran. That's astonishing. How could they attack this synagogue? And also this lack of racism. There is no racism. This, I think it's culturally and poetry. They have a beauty of life by poetry. Even when they talk or they want to give an example, they use a poetry, which is a kind of art of life, which makes the life more soft and more, and they have a lot of politeness, you know, respect of women. People say, oh, they kill people. It's not true. Nobody kills people for their cover, never. So the respect of women, because we have had queens in Iran also, so, but always covered. Even the queens not covered by the whole, covered slightly by the head, you know, like not really open. They don't show their body openly. And especially the children are so intelligent that I think tomorrow in Iran is much better than today. They use the best educational theories and teachings in radio, in TV. Every morning, the sport. You open the radio, they are in the park, they do the things in the park, or they talk about the sport or the mornings. Like a lot of good habits like that. There is not pornography in TV or in the streets. no alcohol in the streets, and no sex publicities of women in the streets or children. So these have been during 47 years a nation of force, even though they are not very much into showing off, or defending themselves. They just live their lives. And so we'll see what happened to the answer of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I'm sure there are very pacific people, peaceful. For them, it's kind of being grand to be peaceful and just. You understand? It's kind of their historical past and their belief of Imam Hussein, which was martyr, has made this mixture of actual era. So they believe in justice and peace. Of course, there are some very, very few, maybe 100 or not much people who are really, really against, or maybe more. But the media shows them all the time. And mostly they are paid for
Yes.
showing they are against, because they could make wars and things like that. But they are free. The frontiers are open. Everybody can go out if they don't like a contract Russia or something. And not everybody could tolerate the sanctions, in fact. People, young women wanted a free life and things like that. So a lot of people went outside. Many also went outside for the country for study and things like that. There is a coming back these days. A lot of people, they are so kind of proud and feel love to their countries. They are coming back to be in Iran. So it's okay. They don't feel, but of course it's difficult. For example, my cousin is a postdoctorate in nanotechnology in Iran, Sharif University, and he preferred to stay in Iran. And then they are creating things, kind of plastic, which has this or that quality. But every time there is something missing, a part of mechanism, the stuff which is missing, they cannot bring it into the country because of the sanction. So these kind of problems exist. You cannot really develop some illnesses, the medication doesn't come. These are the things which bother really people because of sanction. Even the people are sanctioned, individuals, the teachers, you name it, is sanctioned. So they have to live with that. And they have become very strong in how to live with all this. And that created a very hard, strong men and women. Like when they come outside, there is raining, they're out. There is the bombs. They are watching. They're not afraid. That's really amazing. They're not afraid of bombs. So they have stayed outside every night. I think it would be going to be okay because as they have suffered themselves and they understand the suffering of others, uh, absolutely. I think and they have a lot of people everywhere, which is for them. They love them and they want their victory. They would bring, if they win, if if things finish with peace treaty, uh, we will. I think we will live in a better world. We get the example of living with hearts and more justice in the world. I'm sure there's going to be changes after that.
Yes, they try to, get us to picture Iran as some sort of backward nation and so on and so forth. But we understand that some of the top positions at NASA, at CERN, and even the Musk organization are, in a way, directed, even though not confirmed publicly, by some of these top Iranian scientists. So, yes, they have a very highly educated nation and beautiful engineers within there, as we see the beautiful engineer we have in Mr. Keshe. So, yes, we'll see part or much of the technology, I think, come out of Iran as well in the peaceful time. And maybe that's why they don't seem to want the peace, not the Iranians, but the rest, because this is the freedom and the liberty of humanity through this technology, as I see it.
Yeah, I have heard that. There are two other technologies which is not getting out yet. I mean, they didn't need to use that. You understand? Because they don't want, first of all, they never decided to have nuclear bombs. And they say it all the time. Nobody listens. All the time say nuke, nuke, nuke. Because the Ayatollah has put a fatwa, its idea of the Ayatollah that nuclear bombs are the indiscrimination killing, mass killing, and it's forbidden by the religion. And that's it. So never Iranians make nuclear bombs. And they have always said that. And they're part of NPT, I think. And they had been open, complete observation of NPT. So no problem in this. But they all create this problem. Oh, Iran will have it in 1 week, in 2 weeks, for 40 days. So it's completely out of. So, and Iran has two more technologies, which they haven't, or they have shown, maybe, I don't know, but they haven't talked about that very much. But I know that if they wanted to do something, they had finished this war in 1 week, but they are not using it. That's my opinion.
Beautiful. I just noticed that Rick Stefania has arrived. Can we go back to the knowledge and understanding for a few minutes and then go?
Mike, I have a question, please. So what can Universal Council do? Because if we understand the knowledge about plasma, the environment creates the change. So what can we, Universal Council, do to change the environment that can bring a new shift in all this quest for peace?
We're doing it. The 9 o'clock and pulsing throughout the day, the elevation of the souls of the world spokespeople or world leaders and religious leaders. As Mr. Keshe said, this is not, this is a religious war. And of course, he went on to further details about the arrival of the Mehdi, and both the Jewish tradition, the rabbis are preparing for it. And so aren't they, even with a small army in Iran to defend the the return of the promised one. So as he said, we'll see in October, but we continue our process of elevating the souls. And that's the work we do to bring the peace. So continue with that. And again, the most beautiful part of this process of the 9 p.m. and so on is that nobody fails this test. So you're all successful in doing it, even before you start.
But you see, in the last, I think it was in the last teaching or the other one, Mr. Cash was answering me, in fact. I asked if there is a way that by our emotion, by the right emotion, we can create a future reality. And he says, actually, we're working on it, that with plasma technology, we can create the right emotion, right feels to create the future reality. So when in your soul, with your emotions, you put something in the right channel, or we together put focus our intention on peace, that would become reality if we put our emotions in it. So that's what we are doing, as much as we can. We are on the right path.
Yes. Can we check in on Stefania and see if she would like to do the knowledge and understanding?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes,
Okay,
clearly.
perfect. I'm in the airport, so maybe it's gonna be a little bit noisy. Yeah, don't mind. I can do a very brief summary of the 641
Perfect.
because it was a really good one. Yeah, I really enjoy. So I suggest everyone to go in and read and listen. Obviously, I remind this one is my interpretation of the 641. What was really nice about this workshop is that Mr. Keshe going to more in details how the universe find a different way to confirm its existence or to confirm itself, and it's going to explain how, for example, again, it divide the make a distinction between the physical dimension and the universe dimension. So it starts with the plants and the leaves. So he said, like the leaf, the plants in the physicality, in the physical dimension, try to confirm itself through so the environment that we are in a way, it's a way for us to confirm our existence. So the plants, sorry. Sorry. So as the plants, so one second, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so like the plant. So for example, this environment, the environment we find here in planet Earth, for example, it's for us to confirm, or the universe to confirm the confirmation of itself. So for example, the plants, they use whatever thing is available, like the water, like the minerals, like the CO2, to confirm the existence. But also, the plants itself will use part of the CO2, the carbon of the CO2, to also confirm part of this carbon will also be used to confirm confirm the energy dimension. So he's saying that so the CO2, part of the carbon, going to make the trunk of the leaves or the trunks of the leaves in correlation to the inertia, but also in correlation to the energy, to the motion of the plants. Some of this carbon, we now understood from the past workshop, the purest carbon, gonna go to form the carbon 14 or carbon 16, and so it's going to create a cosmic ray to feed in the soul. But in reality, he's saying so the same things also the human body. We use in the air we breathe, part of the CO2 to confirm our existence, independent of the nature of the structure of the cell. It will come part of the liver, part of the kidneys, part of our body, but also part of this air we breathe will create, in this environment, there is a condition that we can create the carbon, higher carbon, that then build up the cosmic ray, and he call him cosmic gases. So cosmic gas plasma, and he said here we're in abundance. So, and this will be to feed the soul, but also the materials dimension will be used then to feed our soul. So he makes the example what happened to us when we die, what happened to us when the plants get the wood get burned or the body get burned. What happened to the gases? So at the end, even the physical dimension. Through the physical dimension, we can feed our soul. Then you go more in deep that will mix in the same air. So we record carbon, for example, from the plants. We record it with the carbon of the plants. We're going to breathe this carbon into the air. So we're passing on. We all breathing the same air. We're sharing the same carbon. And we're regurgitating from the plants, the human, from any other being, the CO2, where then we're going to feed part the soul and part the physicality, but also the physicality, and this also is going to feed the soul at the end. So we're all eating. We have two plates to feed the same things. Yeah, I want to make it really short because I know here is always noisy. It's gonna go into talk about example of the mistress, like the husband and the wife. So my interpretation is the husband is the physicality, the wife is the soul of physicality, and my interpretation of the mistress is the soul of the man. But all interrelated, they're interrelated with each other. Obviously, we cannot deny both dimensions. So repeating ourselves, cannot pretend that one doesn't exist. The best way to understand the cosmic, how the universe works is to really become aware of the both dimension. Remember in the last workshop, you make the things of the house is the physicality, but then we go to tenant, the soul of physicality, soul of the man. And here it goes talking about the mistress. So even though the husband thinks the wife doesn't know about the wife is always aware of the mistress, because at the soul level, at the end of the day, we're all connected. But you can go more in deep on this. Talk also about the foods, what happened to the food we eat, what happened to the all this sugar, all this CH3, what happened with this again carbon, in a different way. In material side is the like sugar or other foods, and in the energy side is the CH3. But it goes into also at the end, all this food was always going to feed up the soul in the universe, in the universe of dimension. Sorry.
No problem. We were trying to unravel a little bit of that yesterday or a couple of days ago, and yeah, it's almost like a soap opera with the daughter, with the mother, with the mistress, with the wife, with the husband, and so on. And we're just trying to sort of put it together in a way. But yeah, it's a very nice analogy that I think he's made it so simple we can unravel a little bit more of it.
Yeah, but also you have to, yes, I think definitely for me, the wife is the soul of physicality. because it's connected with the physicality and the soul of the man at the same time. And the physicality to me was, from his explanation, was the husband, and the soul of the man for me was the mistress. So they're all interconnected to each other, and obviously your conduct has got a lot to say on where you're going next. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I've rode on those buses before, and they do make those announcements on every stop. I hadn't been on buses other than the recent ones in London. And perhaps we'll play with that a little bit in the reactor group. I'm still trying to find who the mother is and who the daughter is, and how did we get fooled?
The mother, I don't know if he's the creator, because you have to copy the life of the creator, no? So, and maybe the daughter is present. I didn't. Me too.
I think he said maybe the mother is the daughter, or the mother is the daughter, meaning the soul of the creator.
But at the end of the day, we are all the same. We're all connected. We're all one. So maybe also that. But me too. I'm not quite sure about that.
Me too.
But after that, it's very interesting, because after that is going to the tilting of the planets, explaining why the Earth is tilted. So, for example, you said in the physical dimension, the plants and the trees, the planets and the trees have a fixed position. And the human body actually is dynamic, because we can walk. And so it's the diversity of the food in the matter state that, especially for man, that we can move. So we absorb in different food in different way. That one is the one that make us become more intelligent. And when I said before, where the carbon goes when we die, but at the end of the day, all is going to the soul, because that it's where it's going to then decide where we're gonna go. Sorry, I lost the track. So you also say that the man has got diversity of food, because we can walk, we can eat different things, different stuff. So that one is going different places. So this is how we create our diversity. And he said that
apparently
the planets.
We are eating on two tables. We're just ashamed in a way to talk about the second table, or the energy table, in a way.
Yeah, because we're eating from two tables. This is true, because as we said, one comes from the matter state, the food, and then we got the cosmic ray gases that we breathe all the time. That's why later on in the question and answer, he's going to tell us on the fact or how it's important to decontaminate the environment, because it's affecting the gases, the cosmic ray and the cosmic gases plasma that we're absorbing. Because now that we know this game of inertia, there is the cosmic inertia, there is the matter state inertia. So all this, our planet definitely is a place for us to because we nourish the soul. So the cosmic ray are also in this planet, and they also get affected by the pollution. So he's saying, for example, in the second part, how now that they start in research to start the contamination of the water, and I think they're gonna go more into other research to clean up the environment, because it does affect us. What else? Let's see if I can see. So yes, so go back to the food. So the complex of the emotion as well. So we got not just diversity of the food we eat that make us more intelligent, but also the diversity of the emotion we have. That one going to add to the intelligence and what to bring us more evolved. So then we go to question and answer. The question and answer was really, really good as well. I recommend you to go into because it talk about the one the one I remember is the one when you talk about the black hole, like the father great, the great, you know, the one fatherite. I don't know how to call
The
it.
Faraday cage, yes.
Faraday cage, yeah, Faraday cage. He can do one organic one. He didn't want to explain exactly how he did it, but it is organic one. So you can go into read it. Part is very interesting because with that one, you can decide what to absorb, what to not absorb. It's really, really interesting. Then you go into the contamination assayed. You go into you talk about the cosmic, the agriculture. It didn't show this time, but definitely going to show another time. You're going to also to talk about again the differences between what is the universe. That one is a very good one. What is the universe? You go into the inertia. You go into again in space and time and in the chicken of the eggs. That is really good one as well. Then you're going into the also Mehran has done very good question as well on oh my God, now blank. I remember the one before, the one that he also talked about how it's important that we actually we just not. Someone said, I mean, this woman who got my same name, Stefania, she wrote in a book for children, and the question was, how can we write and get through emotion through as we writing? And he said that it's very important to. The important things are not so much the word or the things we write, but the important things is to really be able to pass through the emotion of what you write, you know, what you're speaking. If the emotion doesn't go through, you're really you don't touch the soul. So there are just words written or just words spoken. So it's very, very, very good things for anyone who's singer, one who is a writer. This is really important. Yeah, all of us, but definitely the emotion are the fast track to make instant changes from different dimension. So if you want to transmute, so and then another important was from Maranas about the viruses. He was talking about the virus. I should be afraid about these viruses, and he said that is again a correlation to the emotion, because if you emotionally you are if you emotionally you have fear, you more than likely attract the virus and get negative stuff from it. But the virus or energy pack has got some goods and bad, like everything. So it does not take you energy, but also give away energy. I have to 1 second. I have to leave you for 1 second.
While we're waiting, I have a question. To round out the metaphor, It just occurred to me, I have a question, and that is, who is the husband? Anybody have any thoughts on that? I couldn't figure that out.
The husband is the soul of physicality going to play with the mistress, which is the soul of the man, but we've gotten fooled, which is actually the mother and the daughter, which is the soul of the creator.
I thought the wife was the soul of physicality.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the husband?
All depends how you see it. You understand according to your understanding. Mm-hmm. I think Stefania has gone out, perhaps not to cut her short, but I know we don't want our host to quit us. So perhaps we'll go to the needs and wishes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Rick, up to you.
Sure, we can do that. Okay, we are at the needs and wishes part of the program. I'll remind our audience we'll have 30 seconds of silence to confirm each of these wishes. I think we have 6 of them today. Okay, begin, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population to the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. We are present. Our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for protection of those who living in fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help to cover all emotional and physical needs. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace so that they respect the lives of all people because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our soul that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our souls to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now.
Thank you, my dearest. We are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful soul, at service to each other, to the whole world, the beautiful planet, Mother Earth. So, welcome again, my dear beautiful soul. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome to the one nation, one race, one planet for world peace and justice. Welcome, welcome to the love of all souls in existence. So universal. Join, stop, don't be separate anymore. Thank you so much for being here. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude from the core of my heart and soul, my dear beautiful soul. Thank you so much, the Universal Council. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. And of course, thanks to all the members and support members today of the Universal Council for presenting and putting together today's program, and for all the last 429 of these weekly programs as well. And for all future programs, we thank them for their work. This has been the 430th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. And we should be back again next week at the same time and place. And in the meantime, Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts tomorrow, Wednesday, May 13th at 7 a.m. Central European Summer Time. And we usually go for a few hours in that workshop and discussing and showing things of the plasma technology. So that's open to the public if anyone would like to join. If you have something you'd like to show or a question you'd like to present, that is a good place for such technical and practical applications. Let me see, also the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday, May 14th, and that will be starting at the 9 a.m. Central European Summer Time. Once again with Mr. Keshe, and we look forward to that. All right, I think that's it for announcements.
Looking forward for a dance and clap clap.
One final thing before we
Final thing. Dance and
wrap
dance
up
and dance.
here. Yes, indeed. Thank
Clap
you.
clap, dear beautiful soul. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the intro, Shweta, as usual, for your enthusiasm. And yes, we'll go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version, and may everyone clap and dance their way into the day or the night, whichever you happen to be in at this time. And bye for now, everyone.